Good evening, friends, on the eve of the Super Bowl. Buenas noches, amigos. Estamos en víspera de el juego de Super Bowl, uno de los eventos más vistos en el mundo. Están ahí arriba, yo diría que el Super Bowl y el Mundial están ahí parejo. No sé, hay gente que dicen que el Super Bowl está sobre el Mundial, no sé. Yo sé que el Super Bowl ha subido mucho y es uno de los eventos más esperados y vistos en el mundo. El Super Bowl, one of the most watched and waited for event on a yearly basis. It's up there with the World Cup. I don't know which one comes in first. I have to check the stats on that, but I know it's up there. It's up there. More viewers watching the Super Bowl than any single World Series game or any NBA final game. It's just one game for all the marbles. And we have the Cincinnati Bengals playing the Los Angeles Rams. Now, if you see, I have a red cap on, so you might think, well, the Bengals, right? Red, a little bit of the yellow in there, gold in there. You think it's might be the Bengals, but I got a soft spot for the Bengals, but I really do think that the Rams have a better team. I always like to root for the underdog, so I kind of have a little bit of a rooting thing going on for the Bengals, but I think overall the Rams have a better team. They had a better year. The Rams were they lost 5 games during the year. They were 12-5. And then they won the next 3 games, so for a total of 15-5. The Bengals had a rougher situation to get in. They were 10-7, and then they won 3 playoff games to become 13-7. So overall, the Rams had a better record, 2 games better. Statistically, they're somewhat better. They're a 4-point favorite. The Rams are a 4-point favorite over the Bengals. The over and under, that means the points that they expect to be scored are somewhere in about 48.5. They both have high-powered offense, so I wouldn't doubt it that they could put up more than 50 points combined. But these games tend to be a little bit tight because teams don't want to make mistakes. So there's a pretty good chance it's going to go under. There's a pretty good chance the game's going to be more of a lower-scoring game. But you never know because you have unknown factors for one. You have the quarterback for the Bengals, Joe Burrow. I don't know if you remember Joe Burrow from when the LSU Tigers from college won the college championship. The college championship is not a Super Bowl; it's a college playoff. When the LSU Tigers won the college playoff or became the national champions, he was their quarterback. He established all kinds of records. He set all kinds of records. Had an awesome year, year that maybe never will be duplicated again. That's what kind of records he put up. But he's still a young guy, but he's already very accomplished. He had a heck of a year. He looked good in the playoffs, but he is young. So you never know. When you're young, you might make mistakes. In a critical game like this, he played lights out when the pressure was on in the championship game. But this is the pros. So I think that the kid's got, I call him the kid because he's a young guy. I don't think he's past 26, 25. He's kind of got like ice water in his veins. He doesn't get nervous. So he doesn't get rattled. So I think he is going to bring it. We also have on the other side a veteran. The Rams quarterback is a veteran. He's been around. He for a lot of years he was the Matthew Stafford, who was a quarterback of the Detroit Lions. Didn't get much done with the Lions, but then again the Lions are a mess. They don't, even though they regularly regularly draft high. Because of having poor records, they just don't seem to be able to to get the right players in college or develop them. The coaching, I don't know, they're a mess. So he finally got out of there. I'm glad for him they got out of there, and he's with the Rams, and his career has come back to life with the Rams, and he he just playing lights out. So I think there's a pretty good chance that the Rams are going to win the game, but these teams are not necessarily the New England Patriots that have a track record of going to the Super Bowl many times. We're not talking about a Tom Brady. We're not talking about Steelers or Cowboys or Raiders or even the Dolphins back in their heyday. We're talking about teams that have never won. Excuse me, I'll take that back. The Rams have won a Super Bowl, but just one. They've gone to 4, and they've won 1. But with this particular team, they don't have any guys that were in those 4 other Super Bowl teams that went 1 and 3. And the Bengals have gone to 2 back in the 80s, in the decade of the 80s. So, they're new to this game. So anything can happen. Anything can happen in this game. I think it'll be a low-scoring affair. I don't think any team is going to get more than 30. But again, these games are unpredictable. So anything can happen. Any of these teams can explode for big plays. They have the capabilities. But I think they don't want to make mistakes. They're probably going to play a little bit close to the best. They're probably going to, unless one team breaks out. I think if one team breaks out to an early lead, maybe 2-touchdown lead, then it'll probably be a high-scoring affair. If not, I expect field goals. If field goals and maybe not too many touchdowns, but we'll see. We'll see. I was going to have my colleague, the great comedian, the prince of comedy, Edgardo Rubio, with me. But he's having some family issues to take care of. So I basically want to keep it short. The energetics, I don't know if most of the people went over to his page because he was promoting my live. I don't see many people coming in, so it might have something to do with that. Again, we are we're talking about this now, and if somebody comes in, we might talk about something a little bit different. But for now, we're just talking about the game tomorrow. Okay. So I'm going to talk a little bit also about the Winter Olympics. I haven't been watching too much Winter Olympics now with this whole COVID thing and just thinking China. Not really too into it, but I have watched a little bit because I have to cover sports, so it's my job here. So I watched the women's hockey team, the U.S. women's hockey team, playing in a game that was pretty tight until the third period of the game, and then they just blew it wide open. I think it was 4-1, which is a blowout in hockey. And I was watching the U.S. men's team playing Canada, which Canada is the favorite. It was 1-1. I fell asleep. I can't tell you who won the game. I had to go to work early yesterday, so and I had to work this morning also. So I don't remember if the game was Thursday night or it might have been last night. I know it was a tight game. I can also tell you that Messi the other day had a beautiful assist to Mbappe. I believe his name is Mbappe or Mbappe. And, it was a beautiful assist. It was a beautiful 1-2 punch. Messi and him and the Eminem, I guess you can call them the Eminem boys, like when you used to call Maris and Mantle, or Mantle and Maris, back in the 50s, I guess early 60s, the Yankees, they used to call them the Eminem boys. Well, these are the new Eminem boys, but of soccer, the PSG. So I mean, they're going to be getting now into the Champions League game, so we'll see what happens. I mean, they're dominating their league, their regular season games now. It's the Champions League. I think they're facing Real Madrid, I think, the next day or two. So we'll see how that goes. The NBA had a lot of trades, most notably the Philadelphia 76ers acquired James Harden I don't know. James Harden, I guess, couldn't quite make it a go with Durant. I guess he was upset about Kyrie Irving not playing because of not getting the vaccine. If you don't know the history or the story of behind this, Kyrie Irving refused to get the vaccines, and in New York, you have to be vaccinated. If you're not vaccinated, you can't, participate in the games. So he was only playing in the states where the vaccines were not mandatory. So I don't know how many games he's played this year. Not many. And I guess Harden just didn't, I mean, I thought it would be enough for him and Durant, two, stars and probably future Hall of Famers. Although I don't know, Harden really did himself no favors by not stepping up a notch. They said that they changed the rules where James Harden was the expert at basically drawing up fouls where he would kind of draw the contact now and then kind of like maybe take a flop. Now they're saying the referees are looking for that, and if you take a flop or if you intentionally bump the guy to get a defensive foul, that they would give you the foul or even a technical for flopping. So they said that his game was affected. I know his game got affected at the beginning of the year. I thought he had adjusted, but they weren't clicking. So they traded him away. 76ers have him now. We'll see what happens. And then Simmons, the guy that was being critiqued and criticized a lot last year for clanking a lot of shots. They said that he couldn't even make a free throw. That it was worse than Shaq shooting free throws, and there was a lot of problems, a lot of criticism. He didn't like the criticism from the fans or the sportscasters. So now he gets a fresh start playing with Durant. Don't know if Kyrie Irving's going to come back. I don't know. A lot of people have been talking about the Golden State Warriors, and rightly so. They have a great team. But, bear this in mind. The best record in the league is the Phoenix Suns. So even though last year they came up short against the Milwaukee Bucks, they are looking like they might be the best team. They don't lose. They just don't lose. And the young players are playing awesome. And Chris Paul, like they call him CP3, he's 36, 37 years old, but he's on fire. The other day he had a triple-double. Triple-doubles are assists, rebounds, and points. And it was something like, I don't know, 17 points and 19 assists or some kind of outrageous number like that. 18 assists, I don't know, true point guard numbers. Just distributing the ball, scoring when he has to, and also coming up with 10 or 11 rebounds. I mean, it's just incredible, like a Hall of Fame type of game. So, I mean, it looks like Phoenix might overtake the Golden State. Although right now, Phoenix is number 1 seed in the West, and Golden State is number 2. That might be the finals in the Western Conference. I don't know. Usually it doesn't break that way. Usually somebody gets upset. But that's the way it's looking. In the East, down here I say us because, we're in Miami. Our Miami Heat are looking good. They seem to be, along with the Bulls, the best teams in the East. So we'll see what happens. We have the All-Star game coming up, the NBA All-Star game. So we'll have, the dunk contest and the three-point contest and the game and all that stuff, all that good stuff. And then I'll give you my opinions and I'll wrap up on that. I'll give you more information on PSG, Messi, what's coming up in the World Cup, the Winter Olympics. Give you my recap on the Super Bowl. Again, I think the Rams will probably win the game. It should be a tight game. Probably they'll go under the 48.5 point total. But again, it depends if one team breaks out. I think if one team breaks out, the other team's going to have to play catch up, and then they might just, be in the 30s. But if they play close to the best with a lot of field goals, should be a game maybe, I don't know, 24-17 or maybe 23-20 or something like that. Okay? Now, again, my colleague's not around. I think a lot of people went to his site because when he does a promo, people automatically just go over there, and then when they don't see him, they come over here. Or when they see that we're both, on the live, they figure it out. It must seem like, it's low. I'm getting well over 100 likes and in some cases over 100 comments in my lives. but it just kind of seems like nobody's around today. I don't know. Other than the Super Bowl being tomorrow, I know I went to buy some stuff at Costco today, and it was off the charts. It was off the charts. I mean, people, there weren't any carts available. No habían carritos para poder poner los mandados, porque la gente se estaba volviendo loco preparando para la fiesta del Super Bowl. Y este año la fiesta del Super Bowl coincide con el Día de los Enamorados, porque el Día de los Enamorados es el lunes. Valentine's Day is Monday. So a lot of people are celebrating this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and into Sunday. So, bueno, tomorrow, mañana posiblemente traiga otro corto live, dándole mi comentarios sobre el Super Bowl. I might bring a short live tomorrow, giving commentaries of the Super Bowl. I might do it at halftime of the game or during the game itself, okay? So until tomorrow, it's Mr. Energy with my flaming cap, and I guess I have my Hurricanes shirt here, because last bit of news, the Hurricanes are looking awesome with their coaching. They have an all-star coaching staff to guide our players, and it looks like we're going to have a great year. I think the ceiling, they said the ceiling was 10 games. I think the floor is 10 games. I think if they lose more than 2 games, if they go 9-3, 8-4, I think it'll be a disappointing season with what they're doing. I think the floor is 10. I expect them to go at least 10-2, maybe 11-1. I don't say 12-0 because they haven't shown that they could be perfect. Far from it, but and it looks like they're not done acquiring players. It looks like they're going to get more star players that are disgruntled from whatever teams are playing. They're targeting a couple positions where they want to strengthen. If that happens, I think they're going to not only compete for the ACC, but maybe get in the college playoff. And lastly, the basketball team, won again today. They're in second place in the ACC basketball standings, looking pretty good. I think they have a good shot of making the ACC tournament, college tournament for basketball. So it's looking good down here in Miami. All right, go Canes, and we'll see what happens tomorrow. I think the Rams might take it. Sayonara.